Right. We would ask for 5 sensations then, each pertaining to one of the body's senses, or a single experience which has strong elements of all 5 senses. I can only answer this. I have a single experience to contribute then. I woke up not knowing where I was, on a cold blood-slicked iron slab in the bowels of the mortuary, a place where only the dustmen or the corpses in their care have seen. Go on. My entire body reeked of embalming fluid, but even the smell of that was not enough to match the coppery scent of gore around me. Dozens of bodies lie on countless bloody slabs, like the one I rose from, all in the process of being gutted, flayed, and the like by nightmarish clockwork devices, for reasons unknown. The only sounds were the squeals of labored metal and the unsteady tread of undead workers as they pushed the slabs about the mortuary on rusted iron trucks. A disturbing experience. And I even left out the part about the chattering skull that flew at me as soon as I was upright. Will it suffice, Splinter? Yes, we welcome you back, traveler, and grant you access to those privileges allowed only to members of the Society of Sensation. But I'm not a sensate. Is there anyone here who might know about Ravel? Splinter closes his eyes and thinks briefly. We would recommend that you speak to a wizard by the name of Quell about Ravel. Quell is always somewhere in the festival, most often in a private sensorium. Can I ask about you? There is little to say that we have not told you. We are the Splinter Torment to the festival, demigod son of Ishar and priest king of Ur. Planewalkers came to our world and told us of the Society of Sensation. We were fascinated and returned with them. We left Ur in the capable hands of our queen, so that we might come to this place and experience servitude and humility for a time. As time does not pass here as it does in Ur, the century we have spent here will be as a mere several months in our own world. After another decade or so, we imagine we shall be ready to return to Ur and rule it once more. Interesting. Someone I was looking for? What lectures are there to attend? The festival current speakers include Death's Advocate, who speaks of death and what follows it, Gizis the Crooked, who speaks of the Blood War, and Three Planes Aligned, who speaks of the power of alignment and belief. Assuming they are currently here and well, we could direct you to one of their lectures at any time.
I feel stronger.
Oh, you do? I'm not a sensate, though. Good. What level are we, though? Oh, we have a point. Sorry, I didn't even see it. Okay then. But what is my level? Level 8. Alright then. These ones are all generic. There is nothing hidden behind the bars which adorn the face of this pillar. I'm checking them all now.
Alright.
Oh! Force missiles. Alright then. God, it's a nightmare. The fact that I could miss all these little things. It's not really a nightmare, but yeah. Quisai? Was that the guy we needed? No, right? You are the guy I need, yeah. I mean, one of the guys I need, right? This short, balding man's orange tunic and rather sizable gut give him the look of a walking pumpkin. He's absent-mindedly patting his large paunch with a slow rhythm as if it were a drum. The man's odd crooked smile and the strange gleam in his eyes make him look a bit mad. Greetings. The man gives an exaggerated flourishing bow and presents a small card which reads only Jumble Murder Sense, Cauxitet, Sorcerer, Extraordinaire. He then snatches the card from your grasp and proceeds to eat it, grinning wildly all the while. I see. Somewhere an asylum is one barmy short. Hey, Jumble. Jumble yawns and looks away, drumming on his belly with the palms of his hands. I have some questions? Jumble rolls his eyes. He turns to you, smirks, then bites his thumb. Are you mute? Is that why you don't answer me? Jumble cocks his head and gives you a stupid grin. Slowly he shrugs, then shuts his eyes and sticks his tongue out at you. I don't really want to threaten him. What about Rickwinds? Jumble pretends not to hear you, instead belching loudly and resuming his belly drumming, his eyes wandering around the fest hall. Is there anything I could do so that you'd remove Rickwind's curse? Jumble won't look at you but shakes his head. I don't know.
All right.
Yeah, we have a lot of warriors here. One of them might be a teacher, sparring dummy, sparring weapons. I don't see a chief here though. A chief. This is a lecture hall. And this one should be a lecture hall too, right? Oh, maybe not. Let's open this door. Oh, this is a lecture, definitely. And that's another lecture room. Oh, here we have... This dummy is adorned with pockets, purses, pouches, and dozens of tiny bells. Oops. Thief in training. All thieves in training. They seem pretty organized here. Well, they are the biggest faction, so mage in training. I don't see the mage teacher here. That's another door, that's another door. Civic Festival.
Done.
Oh, this must be their rooms. Right? Oh, yes. That door needs a key. Yeah, she's the clerk that gives you the rooms, alright. I would suppose that needs a key too. Okay. We are orientating, more or less. So what's in here?
I'm gone.
Is this just the same? It is. Well, I'm perplexed.
All right.
A little bit. Okay, let's leave the lectures for later. I want to experience them no problem. But I would like to talk with the named one before. This is a life-sized granite statue of a gentleman standing with his arms at his sides, eyes closed. It is of excellent craftsmanship, exquisitely detailed, and incredibly lifelike, so much so, in fact, that you find yourself wondering if it's really a statue at all. You touch the statue and find that, while the clothes that adorn it are of grey color rather than rock, the skin is as cool and hard as granite. Well, why would someone close a statue? Maybe it's not a statue. Maybe it's a little too anatomically correct, Chief. It was a rhetorical question, Morte. Sure, boss, I knew that. I think we have just what we need, right? How do I use this? I can't smear it onto the surface of any being turned to stone. It will revert them to flesh. Yeah, but how do I use it? Greetings. The statue makes no response. Strike the statue. As you make to strike the statue, its eyes flash open and it catches your fist in an iron hard grip. Narrowing its cold grey eyes, it speaks with a voice like two boulders grinding together. Why would you strike Quisai? Well, forgive me. I only meant to see if you were truly a statue. He nods slowly, frowning. You are forgiven, however one feels you are lacking patience. Maybe. The statue remains silent as ever. I'm waiting for a response. He is not answering. The statue eyes open. He gazes at you with cold grey eyes. He speaks ponderously with a voice like two boulders grinding together. Your patience is noted. Kisai would speak with you now. Really? Morton rolls his eyes and makes a gagging noise. Powers, no, not another Burke that talks like this. What about you? After a period of silence he speaks. Ask. What is it that you were meditating upon when I first found you? Kisai meditates upon the way of stone. The way of stone. Kisai nods. A philosophy, a method of combat. With it, Kisai seeks to achieve invulnerability. Invulnerability? You'd be unbeatable in combat? Yes, now, the way is not yet perfect. Kisai will make it so. One day, Kisai knows this. You know that. Can you tell me of what you've discovered so far? Kisai nods. No one has asked Kisai to share his knowledge of the way. Kisai shall do this now. He begins to speak at length, slowly and carefully.
Updated my journal.
After hours of listening and many many questions, you come to understand what little of Kisai's way of stone he can teach you in combat. You will use it to resist and deflect your enemy's blows, improving your armor class. Thank you. Who are you? I'm called Kisai, but what are you exactly? One is of the race called Stone Princes. Okay, so he's normal. Kisai is Genasi of her Earth. Genasi.
Updated my journal.
He nods proudly. Kisai's father, an elemental creature of Earth, a Dao. Kisai's mother, a human woman of noble heritage, such is what it is to be Genasi of Earth. What do you do here then? Kisai meditates. Kisai also trains others in the arts of combat. What about this place? Nothing. What do you know about Ravel? Nothing. Oh well then. Okay.
Right.
We have found something. Jumbles going around. Let's go to the holes then. Can you show me the sensoriums? There are two, the public sensorium and the other one. Take me to the public first.
Done.
You know what I thought when I saw this? You know those museums where you go and you have to touch all the things? Like you have to, it's not... like the museums we went to in here, like the Nameless one went, where all the art is supposed to be touched and experienced. I hate those museums with a passion. I like museums where you can just see things and you don't even have to touch them, because I like to see old things. I'm not really interested in new constructs. Modern art. Well, some modern art is insanely good, but
I'm gone.
not as of late. There are stones here, but you can't really... We need to experience them all? Oh well. Lady Thorncombe! This comely middle-aged woman is wandering about dreamily, absent-mindedly chewing on her thumbnail. Her eyes seem focused on nothing in particular. She's dressed in elegant yet disheveled finery, and her hair is slightly tousled. Greetings. She takes her thumb from her mouth, smoothing back a strand of hair that had fallen in front of her eyes. What about you? As you begin to ask your question, you realize she's not looking at you, let alone paying you any attention. Hello. Very well. Ask what you wish. She's unfocused. And she's the teacher? She sounds apathetic. I see why that guy that's outside thinks he's going to be the future teacher maging training. Because this one is completely gone.
All right.
Sensory stone. This is an unusual reddish-orange stone. It is securely fastened to the pedestal that it rests upon. But are you not supposed to get sensations from these things? Well, let's talk to the guide here. This man's gentle voice complements his calm and refined demeanor. Greetings, are you here to use one of the sensory stone? Yeah, I would. There are currently more than a dozen standard sensations available, as well as 6 more extravagant experiences. The use of a standard stone is 10 copper commons. The more involved ones will cost 150 coppers. Would you care to hear of the standard or the extravagant sensation? What about the standard? The man smiles and explains to you some of the various sensations that are currently available. Unavoidable pain, tender love, mind-numbing tedium, sheer wonder, consuming impatience, tired surrender, supernatural lust. What about sheer wonder? A good choice. The stone you shall want to use is in one of these smaller chambers, 4 rooms clockwise from the stairwell. Greenish yellow. I think it's this one. Maybe. This is an unusual greenish yellow stone. Is there another greenish yellow? This one? Okay. Sheer wonder. Hesitantly, you open your mouth and take a shallow breath, and water flows into your lungs like cool air. You smile and take a deep breath, gawking in all directions as you slowly sink to the bottom of the harbor, where hundreds of colorful fish weave through twisting tracts of brilliant coral. As your feet touch bottom, you peer up at the keel of your ship and laugh aloud with joy, a string of great bubbles shooting up towards the surface. The experience seems to have stirred some long-forgotten, vaguely similar memory in your own mind. You feel as if you've gained something from using the sensory stone. Yeah, I gained experience, but there's nothing else to be gained, right? It's not like one of them triggers an actual memory. Well, I will have to try all of them, just to be sure. Unavoidable pain. One room clockwise. Okay, I'm going in order at this point. Let's start. The experience is a short and violent one. Struggling with another, slightly stronger man on the edge of a blazing hot stream of molten lava, your weapon hand is slowly, inexorably forced ever closer to the magma. Beads of sweat evaporate the instant they appear. The air on the back of your hand blackens and smolders above the awesome heat. Finally, your howls of suffering echoing from the canyon walls around you. Your hand and the axe it holds plunges into the lava and chars to ash in a few agonizing seconds. Okay. Oh well. I hope to trigger a memory or something. It must be this one, right? Because I'm going in order. Your eyes are closed. You can sense yourself standing on the tips of your toes, pressed against someone tightly. Soft lips brush against yours, giving you the most gentle of kisses. Your heart seems to flutter in your chest, and you feel as if you could fall backwards and simply float off into space. Then we have mind-numbing tedium. This violet stone. The experience couldn't be more than a few minutes long, but hours seems to pass. A long boring lecture in the driest, dustiest hall in the University of Chalmin's sigil. You look about the vast hall, hoping to catch someone's eye to pull a face at, but the other students are either asleep or staring listlessly into space. You drop your quill pen, pick it up and drop again, just for something to do. You consider stabbing yourself in the eye with it, just to see if your senses haven't been wholly numbed by the incredible boredom. Okay then. Why would somebody want to experience this? I don't know. I mean, if this was a real museum, I wouldn't be interested. I think consuming impatience. I think I wouldn't be able to go to a place like this just because I have enough, sensations through the day already. So, I mean, that's enough, isn't it? This reddish orange stone is for consuming impatience. You stand debating with Amnas, the horribly slow keeper of the Lion Key, as to whether or not your quest is important enough for him to relinquish the artifact into your care. The whole experience is an exercise in sheer torment. Each and every one of his words is followed by a significant pause. Each and every point he makes is reiterated time and again before he lets you speak. You present an argument and wait while he makes his counterpoint. to which you shoot out a snappy counterpoint of your own, then must wait yet again for another of Amna's strolling, meandering, seemingly endless counterpoints. It's everything you can do, not to simply lop the fiend's tusked head off and snatch the key from the twitching corpse. That was fun, though. What again? Tired surrender.
I'm gone.
Oh well. Shuddering, chattering, hoping beyond hope to be found, you curl into yourself beneath a blanket of snow to save what little warmth you have left. Fighting to keep your eyes open, to remain awake, you become aware that you can no longer feel your arms, your legs, the ice against your face, and tired, so tired, you at last resign to the inevitable. You close your eyes, bidding sleep a bitter welcome as the senses of loss forces a single tear, doomed to crystallize before it even reaches your cheek from your aching eyes. That was so nice. Nice description, I mean. I think I have the last one. Supernatural lust. Oh god. This one? You find yourself in company with a succubus, a creature of such intense otherworldly beauty that even her fiend's horns and crashing tail give you no pause. You desire her so completely that the whole of your existence seems focused towards this single goal. As your life explodes from you in a starry burst, you hear the delighted laughter of the succubus as she drains you dry, leaving your body but a soulless husk. No, nothing particular happened. Let's go with the other ones. What the extravagant ones? Horrible regret, shock and the rise to seething vengefulness. Slowly dawning horror, indescribable frustration, a vastly important secret, lycanthropy, shock and a rise to seething vengefulness. Is it this one? Oops, I can't click on her. You stand somewhere in the nether regions of the plains, a sweltering place where the ground is beaten copper and the sky is of brass. Here the bodies of sinners, petitioners in this horrid place, are rolled amongst iron brambles and bronze scorpions, until their bones are fine, grey dust. You squint at the horizon, the bone dust rising with putrid-smelling gusts of wind that carry with them the sound of agonized moaning. There is nothing but flat metallic landscape as far as the eye can see. The dust is everywhere, in everything. It stings at your eyes, coats the insides of your mouth with a pasty film. You spit, wiping at it with your finger, but it's of no use. The stuff's taste has fouled your mouth completely. You look down at the key in your hand, a minute platinum orb, and picture the man's face who solemnly swore to you the magical portal you just passed through, now gone of course, led to the green fields of Bytopia. Someone, by all the powers and their proxies, was going to pay for this one. Oh, you're late, Dakon.
All right.
I don't know, should we continue this? What about horrible regret? I'm just hoping that someone of these stones will Do something for me. You stand on the deck of your flagship, the Divine Hammer, as it floats over the continent of Agerheim. Held aloft by the winds of magic, the very landscape rolls and shudders beneath the bombardment of your fleet. 1,000 ships, cannons and bombards hurling their sorcerous fire down like vengeful gods. The shock waves began to hit your ship only minutes ago, a constant vibration that sends shudders through the whole of the ancient craft and moves your very bones, accompanied by a constant rumbling bass, as the land's mountains begin to sink, and the seas that surround it begin to boil off into the atmosphere. Your first officer comes to stand beside you. My Lord Admiral, permission to speak freely, sir. You nod your acquiescence, your stomach sinking as you guess at his question. My lord, forgive me, but how? What gives us the right? 1 billion lives. I don't know, depends. What gives us the right? I don't know. You speak without turning to him, unable to take your eyes off Rumos, the nation's vast capital city, as it vaporizes into a cloud of superheated gases 12 miles across and growing ever wider. If you only knew the full treachery of the Agarites, First Officer Felm, one which is beyond most any man's comprehension, then you would know. You would speak of our right to annihilate them, with no right to let them live. But sir, traitors, all of them, surely among the hundreds of thousands, how many innocents? Well, if you need to send a message, dear, you have to send it, right? Silence, speak of it no more. Our king has spoken. His will be done. The task set to us is a horrible one, not fit for contemplation or questioning. There is no room for pity, no room for remorse, only duty. The two of you stand silently for a time, watching the last minutes of Agerheim. At long last you sigh, a low stuttering exhalation that sounds as if something has broken inside you. Beneath the brazen plate that covers the ruined half of your face, your dead eye begins to weep. Form, my friend, I would have you understand. I know now, as I look down at what I have wrought here, that were I to think upon what I have done, what I have truly done, I would be struck mad. A deed such as this, the anguish would overwhelm, destroy me. So, First Officer Form, it must be that there are no innocents in Agerheim, no mothers, no children, no people, only traitors, vile, cunning traitors, who deserve no less than the full brunt of our most holy king's wrath. Do you understand this? I don't know the reasons why. I mean, I cannot understand this regret, because I do not know if the king was right or not. Because even if some civilians die, if that nation was a danger, then it must be annihilated. It's very simple. Yes, my lord. Good. Now go. I wish to be alone here. By your command, Lord Admiral. Falm bows his head and returns below deck, leaving you to stand over the end of a civilization. This one didn't really work on me. Alright then.
Done.
Poor me. I needed more insight into the situation to understand it. Maybe they were innocent and the king was mad. That's the only thing that maybe could have happened if that was a regret. Nah, the last one wasn't that good, man. Dawning horror. Dawning horror. Lady Thorncombe, you're here? Oh. Are you kidding me? Come on. How good could it be, you think, regarding the burgundy liquid carefully across the table from you? The twisted old man smiled slyly. Please, sir, try. Why I immediately thought of the Princess Bride. He whispers, his hushed voice, the sound of dry leaves blown over a roughly cobbled street. You shall find it more than lives up to thy expectation, I'm sure. You nod at him and lift the crystal goblet into the air, watching the light play through the crimson liquor. You'd come a long way for this drink, searched long and hard for this old man, and you'll be damned to let anything rush you now. The moment was to be savored. You raise the glass to your lips, inhaling the stuff's aroma. The bouquet is light, sweet, intoxicating, almost dizzyingly so. You've tried countless drinks, written tomes about them, their flavors and smells, means of manufacture in your journeys across the plains, but this stuff was supposed to be legendary. No living man you'd found or heard of had tried the stuff. The stories were ridiculous, nothing could taste quite so good, but if there were the slightest bit of truth to them, this would be some fine liquor indeed. At last you drink of the goblet, a cautious sip. Incredible, indescribable, as the flavor washes over your palate. You fight the urge to shudder with delight. Nothing you have tried in all your long years has tasted quite like this. You look up at the old man, startled to find your glass empty. You had drained it all in a single draught. You wipe your eyes with the back of your hand, not entirely sure when you had begun to cry. Tears of joy, eh? The old man laughs softly. Quite pleasing to the tongue, is it not? Wouldst you like some more, perchance? He smiles at you once more. Yes, if I might. Surely, he replies, refilling your glass. Try as you might. You cannot resist downing it in a single gulp. You thrust your finger into the goblet in an attempt to find some last hidden drop of the stuff. Several times more does he fill the goblet, and each time you gulp the stuff down, as a starving man would devour a feast, unable to control yourself, to deny yourself another exquisite taste of it. He chuckles softly once more. A drink such as this, a man would do anything for it, no? You nod without hesitation. Yes, a man would. Looking at him, his sly smile suddenly takes on a whole new meaning. A sense of horror begins to creep over you, even as you begin to yearn painfully for more of the blood-red liquor. Yes, the old man grins, his yellow eyes gleaming. A man would do anything in the thrall of such a drink. Even the most terrible, the most heinous of deeds, as thou shalt see, my newest servant. All right.